Okay, this is going to be part 8, I think, of making a tapered western gun belt. So this is the one I'm stitching. I've stitched all the way up to here. Still really time consuming, but um, as you go, you develop a rhythm. So this is the rhythm that I developed. I've got this clamped in a stitching pony. Up above, I've got a binder clip tied to a screw in my rafters of my ceiling, and then the binder clip is clipped to the tapered end of the belt. So that keeps it like this so I can work with it without it flopping back and forth. So I'm doing a saddler stitch here. Now what I'm going, you can see that, I'm going down that diagonal line after I do the bullet loop, and then I start at the bottom and I go through my bullet loop material and I put that through the hole in the belt, take my other needle through that same hole, make an X, pull out. I pull this one snug but not tight. I put the other needle through the back side of the bullet loop material, snug that up a little bit. Now I go back through the face, pull that through into the belt part way, take my other needle, make my X, snug it up a little bit, through the top of my bullet loop material. You're going to want to snug that up good and tight and kind of push so you get that more of a loop there like you're supposed to, rather than having it flat. If you don't snug it up, it'll stay kind of flat. Pull that through, snug it up again, and then if I wasn't done, I would be going to that diagonal and just stitching through just the belt and the diagonal and starting on the next bullet loop. But since that was the last bullet loop, we're gonna hopefully back stitch a few here, get it through. Try from the back side. Doing this kind of thing is always a little difficult sometimes. Bear with me here. Okay, to get that one started and get this snugged up, it should go better, hopefully. Okay. Now that I've got that back stitched, come through, pull my needle all the way off my thread, go to the other one, tie a knot in that before I cut it. Burning those ends will keep that from fraying or coming apart. So this belt is done. I've already got some bullets in the loops. In all honesty, I made these bolt loops way too tight. I'm gonna be a struggle to get them in and out of there. I'm not really sure what I did different because I knocked my tripod over. This belt that I stitched and just started a new one every time, it's got the same spacings and looks like the same spacings on my, all my measurements were the same, and this one is perfect. So really not sure what happened there, but I'm able to get them in there. I had to take my awl on the bottom, push that in as far as I could, come in on the top, push that in as far as I could. Just rob a bullet from this other belt, and I was able to get them started. And then push it in. So they'll go in there, but coming out, it's not all that great. So if you would happen to screw that up somehow, even though I'm not sure what I did, what I'm going to do is, I'll have to push all these out of there painstakingly. But after I go out and shoot again, I'll save, I got 33 loops on here, so I'll save at least 33 empty shell casings. Get this wet, put those in and let it dry, and I'm sure that will stretch out the loop material enough, and then they should be just about perfect. I would rather have this problem than flipping it over and they all fall out. This problem is fixable. If they're too loose, the only thing one time I did that, I put a little glue in each one and then let that dry to thicken it. It works, but it ended up being kind of messy. This isn't a bad problem by any means. I can fix it. And as you just saw, if I get them started with something besides my fingers, they do come out. So here's the buckle in that I've already attached. Now I'll move my camera and we'll show you how to finish up the one I laced and put the buckle on that one. Okay, so for finishing up, well, we'll just attach the buckle first, so that's done. So, got my holes and everything. Run my buckle through, make sure that the prong is facing the right direction. This one I'm going to put my fold on the front side rather than on the back. I got my lace here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start one end and start the other. Pull both through, try to keep them fairly even. I made the back hole on here bigger than the front two holes. Pull that through a ways, leave yourself a little bit of a loop, and grab just one. Pull it through the first part of the back, pull it through the other side part way. Do the same thing with the other side. Okay, and we run them both through that loop. Coming on the back side, pull the loop tight. Front side, pull one of those tight. Pull the other one tight. Pull them both tight. And there you have it. I'm not going to put my belt keeper on because it ends up sitting like right there and won't do a whole lot. If I would have made this a little longer, that would make more sense. I mostly made it in case down the road I decide I want to put one of these buckles on, then I'll already have this. I'll just leave this hanging on my rack with the buckle. So that's all there is to that if you want to attach them that way. And as far as I know, I know for a fact this style and everything is historically accurate to a hardware store gun belt. So for finishing up the bullet loops, I got my lacing needle clamped onto there. So you're going to want to make sure that your last bullet loop is snugged up pretty good. Run your hand along, go up to your top hole, pull that through your top hole of your loop material, pull that through, pull that snug, keeping your top side out. Pull that through the belt. And snug that up really good. Then you come through the back. I'm just going to go underneath 2 loops here. Pull that snug. Just take our knife. Cut that off flat. And there you go. It's all secured and closed. This one is also plenty tight, but I'd say it's about perfect because when I use my awl and stretch that out a little, you want to stretch top and bottom to kind of even it out. Grab a couple more bullet loop bullets from this other belt. Last one's really tight. Okay. These are still plenty tight, but they're not near as tight as the other one. Still get it out pretty easy. They're actually about perfect. Same spacing, so I don't know why the other one ended up so tight, but like I said, I can put empty shells in there and wet form those to get them to work. So it's one completed rig. And another completed rig. I've got videos on making both this holster for my Chiappa and this one for my Heritage Rough Rider as well. So that's, if you watch them both together, you'll know the basics on making a historically accurate Western gun belt, for like historical as in like 1880s, 90s, that type of thing. So that's it for these videos. Hope you enjoyed them and could learn something, and maybe you know better ways to do some of this stuff. And if you do, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.